to clarify something you said earlier, you said career-ending knee injury. So originally, the doctors said I was never going to run or jump again. And so when I first heard that, of course, at the time I have 5 kids, right? And at the time they were young. They were 10, 7, 2, and I had twins who were 4 months old.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I immediately went to the dark side. Like, you're trying to tell me I won't be able to, like, go rock climbing with the kids, or I won't be able to play volleyball or basketball or just run around in the playground. Like, I just started getting into that negative headspace,
Yeah.
started tearing up, and
Mhm.
then I looked up at my now ex, like, and she had tears in her eyes too, because she knew that hearing that news was devastating for me. But then I said, "Wait a minute, we haven't even done the surgery yet." It's like, how does he know
Yeah.
I'm never gonna run or jump again? It's like, yeah, you can take averages, but there's also above averages, and there's also extra credit. Like I said, so going switch switching right back into that mode. And I
Yes.
said, you don't know me like that. And he says, there's probably maybe a 10% chance. I said, well, I'm gonna be in that 10%. I was like, you guys take care of stitching me back up. I'll take care of how I come back from this. And it took about 4.5 months for me to run again. Now, to be fair, I looked like a newborn giraffe, but I was still able to get both feet. I was able to get both feet off the floor and not fall over. So when I
Oh,
did that, I was like, I'm making a full comeback. I know. And at the time,
yeah.
I had complete atrophy in two of my quadricep muscles.
Mhm.
So I had to go e-stim, electric stim. They
Mhm.
told me minimum 3 hours a day. They did not give me a maximum. So when I wasn't working, that thing stayed on my leg all day long. And people were asking, like, are you doing too much? I think you're doing too much. I said, have you ever dealt with this injury? No, then shut up. Okay. He's like, I got this. I got this. Unless you've come back from this, I don't want to hear from you. Right. I ran into a guy in Walmart who he saw my big knee brace, and he's like, hey, what happened? I was like, patella tendon rupture. And he's like, I had that too. And he's like, you're not going to be able to bend your leg past that. And it was like barely
Mhm.
90 degrees. I was like, I'm already past that, because I took I took my training seriously. Like I said, when I wasn't working, I was working on it, doing
Mhm.
mobility, flexibility, because I promise I'm going to be in that 10%. And since that diagnosis, and I'm not saying this to brag, but since that diagnosis, I've done 191 obstacle races.
Holy
I've done
cow.
a 30-mile Spartan Ultra. I ran a half marathon. I compete. Now, the injury happened during a track meet, during a high jump. When I
Mm.
planted to jump, my kneecap just ripped. It just
Ugh.
ripped right away. Yeah, it
Mm,
was it was a
mm, mm,
bad,
mm.
bad injury. But I've competed in 22 track meets, and I have 18 gold medals, and I'm undefeated in the high jump since that diagnosis.
Oh my goodness. And
And
have you shared that with your doctor?
oh, absolutely, yes, yeah. I ran into him at a different clinic. I just happened to run into him, and honestly, I said, "Thanks for lighting that fire under me." And he kind of looked at me at first, I'm like, "Do you remember me?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You were the knee injury." I was like, "Yeah." Yeah. Do you remember what you told me? And he's like, "I do." I was like, "Just so you
Watch
know,
this.
I'm in that 10%." Yeah, like, I'm in that 10%. But like, when I share that, I always throw in to tell people, like, I'm not sharing that to flex. That's not what it's about.
Right,
It's
right.
about letting people know not to let other people tell you what you're capable of. It's like,
Correct.
that's why I share that story, because it
Mhm.
happens all the time. Someone could be like, I want to start a business. People, oh, you don't have a degree, you don't have this, you don't have the capital, the economy. This isn't the right economy to start a business, and they're gonna put all the reasons why they won't. Like, that's got nothing to do with you. Like, if
Right,
you have
right.
the vision and you have your game plan and you got the perseverance to see it through, you can dive in at any given time. But too many times we let other people derail us from our goals.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think that people have really the best intentions, but that is when you start something new or you have an injury like that or you have something happen in your life, you have a lot of people that come up with their own opinions. And I've learned that as well, that I don't, when I make up my mind how I'm going to do something for me that's going to be, I feel best for me, I'm the same way. I don't let anybody else come along and tell me different. I
Yeah.
stop them. I don't even let them share that with me. I tell them what I'm doing. I say, you know what, I appreciate it, but you know what, I've got this. I've got this.